Greetings, good people. Greetings, good people. Welcome back to another episode of Control the Narrative. I am Tanya McKenzie, and we got to get into some of these headlines, okay? Because it's some wild stuff going on right now in sports, and I think we need to talk about it. And we need to talk about it right now. Because if you saw the headlines about the Lakers being sold to Josh Kushner and Bob Iger for $12.5 billion, you know what everybody's talking about. You know, it was the first thing that popped up on my timeline this morning. Well, I'm lying. People's reactions, people's reactions were the first thing that popped up on timelines. The shock, the surprise, the price tag. And here's what I know. Okay. The Lakers deal isn't about basketball. I don't care what anybody else is saying. This is about more than basketball, and I want you to follow me. It's about power. It's about infrastructure. It's about who gets to control the narrative next. And if you don't understand that, you're going to spend the next 5 years wondering why everything about sports feels so different. Okay? One thing I know is sports and patterns. Because of PR, you start to pick up on certain things. And my radar went off so strong this morning as soon as I started reading about this deal. Okay. So sit down, pay attention. We're talking about what actually happened here and what it means for you as a fan, not just a Lakers or basketball fan, a sports fan. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. So check it. So let's start with Mark Walter, billionaire, bought the Lakers from the Buss family for $10 billion in October 2025. The NBA board approved it, okay? Biggest sports transaction at the time. But here's what happened next. The federal prosecutors in Manhattan started investigating the partners. I think it's Guggenheim Partners. The SEC started looking at Delaware Life Insurance and Clear Spring Life and Annuity, that company, right? And we're talking $16 billion in loans that may not have been disclosed properly. So we're talking federal investigation. Then the FBI showed up at the airport on a private plane. They took his phone, they took his laptop on the tarmac. Do you hear me? The man who just bought the most recognizable franchise in basketball was now a subject of a federal investigation. So what did he do? He sold the Lakers. $12.5 billion. A $2.5 billion bump in less than a year. Are you paying attention? And he walked away clean while prosecutors continued to dig into his other businesses. Okay, so that happened. And that's not luck, that's strategy. He already knew. Most of the time when people are involved in these things, they have a plan on how to stay out of as much trouble as possible. All right, minimize the impact. So, listen, he sold this business to Josh Kushner. If that name does not bring alarm bells for you, you have not been paying attention to sports recently. He's a venture capitalist, a billionaire, founder of Thrive Capital. He is the brother of Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law. But that's not all he's doing, okay? In April, he bought a stake in the San Francisco Giants. Before that, he tried to buy into FIFA World Cup operations for $4.2 billion. That deal blew up in his face when the entire world was like, absolutely not. He owns a piece of the Miami Heat. Are you following me? He's connected to venture capitalists that move billions. Do you hear me? Then there's Bob Iger, okay? Bob Iger just stepped away from being Disney CEO. The man who controls ESPN just bought a controlling stake in Angel City FC, the women's soccer franchise. Are you following the pattern? For $250 million. These two just bought the Lakers together. So Iger and Kushner just bought the Lakers together. I just gave you the background of these two men. Now they own the Lakers. I need you to pay attention to patterns, not just headlines. You think they care about free throw percentages? Do you think they care about the majority of the team not having a bunch of African Americans on it? Do you think they care about LeBron leaving? No, because this is bigger than that. You think Kushner loses sleep over draft picks? Absolutely not. He probably don't even watch basketball. So here's what they're actually buying. They're buying control. They now own the most recognizable basketball franchise on the planet, a franchise that reaches more people globally than almost any other team. And Iger brings media infrastructure. Okay, so he knows this game. Relationships at ESPN that don't disappear when you leave the building. He's been building these relationships for decades, and they're coming with him. Please believe it. This isn't a sports portfolio, y'all. This is an information infrastructure, it's architecture. This is consolidation of the platforms that tell stories to millions of people. Do you hear me? It's never just the headlines. It's never the big print. It's the fine print that you're not reading that tells the story. So here's what you need to understand as a sports fan. Here's what's coming. First, narratives will shift. I promise you. The Lakers aren't just a basketball team anymore. They're a corporate asset in a portfolio that also includes soccer and venture capitalist interests that most people don't even know about. That means stories get controlled, right? They get controlled differently. It's more strategic. Second, watch for just watch for more of this. When other venture capitalists and tech billionaires see Kushner get the Lakers, they're watching, they're paying attention, they're calculating, they're asking themselves why they don't own sports franchises. They're asking themselves, why didn't I think of this? They're asking themselves, how do I get a piece of this pie? Third, the lines between sports ownership and media coverage and narrative control starts to blur. Iger has a stake in the Lakers and relationships with ESPN. Do you hear me? Those relationships don't disappear, but the lines will blur. The stories will get controlled by people who have interests beyond just winning games, okay? The stories will be controlled in a way that will alleviate any negativity coming towards any interests of the companies that are owned by these venture capitalists. This isn't just sports anymore. It's not. The Kushner name matters, okay? And if it, again, if it didn't ring bells for you when this deal was announced, you haven't been paying attention. His brother's track record, the Saudi money his brother's fund took, the investigations, the optics, and when optics matter, trust erodes, okay? And trust is everything in sports. We don't even want to start talking about the gambling situation right now. We can't even go there. So here's the thing. I'm going to ask you the question that matters. The question that determines everything. Who's controlling the narrative? With all of this going on, who's controlling the narrative? Right now, it's Kushner and Iger. They own the team. They own the platform. They have the capital. They have the infrastructure. But the real question is even bigger. What happens when venture capitalists, media executives, and political proximity combine to own the platforms that tell stories to millions of people? Do you see where I'm going here? What happens when sports becomes another asset that's controlled by people who don't care what you think? They do not care. You don't even know the reasons they even bought this. There's so much going on that the regular sports fan just won't even understand. That's the real shock. But the question again is, who's controlling the narrative? So here's what you do. Pay attention. You ask questions. You understand that when billionaires own sports franchises, They own more than just the team, okay? They own access, they own influence, and they own the stories. You understand that Walter didn't get a $2.5 billion bump by accident. That Iger didn't step away from Disney just to watch basketball, okay? He didn't. This is all strategy. Most importantly, you don't just consume the story, you participate in it, you control it. Because if you don't control the narrative around your own fandom, someone else will. And that someone else has a lot more money and infrastructure than you do. It's always something going on out here. So, listen, again, I built this platform to help people recognize there's more going on than just the headline. But that's the real Lakers deal. It wasn't just, I'm selling it to this guy. No, there's strategy behind everything that has taken place. The sale price, the speed, the Kushner connection, the FBI investigation, Walter escaped the investigation, how that all happened, the infrastructure that Iger brings, the venture capital ecosystem that's about to treat sports like it treats tech startups. You know what I'm saying? It's all real. It's all strategy. And it's all a preview of what's coming up next. If you don't control the narrative, the streets will, and it won't be in your favor. I want you to run over to Control the Narrative newsletter on Substack, subscribe so you don't miss the deep dive. I'm going to give you a deep dive on this one if you want it or not, because there's a lot of numbers and a lot of details that go along with this. Tanya is my name, and controlling the narrative is my game. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. Were you excited about the purchase? Were you confused? Are you a Lakers fan? Because I'm a Warriors fan, but I'm also a Giants fan, and I have to be honest with you. The way things have been going with my San Francisco Giants, I'm nervous for Laker fans. And I am even more heartbroken that all of this is happening in California. That's just my thoughts. Anyways, let me know yours. See you later.